gamers, and welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's an exciting day. It's Monday. It's the Monday show. And it's time. We finally have the 9th edition Tyranid. Oh, wait, it's the logo behind it. We've got the 10th edition Tyranid Codex in hand. And Games Workshop very kindly sent it to me. It did only arrive today, so I've only just got my hands on it. That's why there's no battle report with it. But we finally got it, gamers. We finally got a physical bad boy copy of the Tyranid Codex. So we're going to be having a look at this today, and we're going to be talking drama as well. But before we do that, come on, say hello and say hi. My name's Mikey. Hello to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're all doing well. Let me know who you are, where you're watching from. I said I'm Mikey. I'm here. You're watching me on Hellstormwargaming. I'm live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday is news and drama time. Wednesday is the only hand show where we do some painting and talk about just generic internet stuff. Generally, a little shit, shoot the shit and chit chat. And then on Friday, it's games night. This week, we are planning to run the Tyranids versus my brand new Grey Knights army on stream on Friday evening. So that's the plan this week. And also, there's a balanced data slate coming on Thursday. So it looks like I'm streaming Thursday. I only get Tuesday off this week. Great. So that's the plan. We're going to break this codex. Obviously, you know what time it is. The thumbnails and the title says it all. I have already broken this codex. I've wrote the strongest list, in my opinion, that you can build with this book. So come in, say hello, and let me say hi to you back. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. We had a massive super chat from Ginger Steve. He's not here today. But he says, can't watch the stream. It's my daughter's birthday. Make it a good one, Mikey, and get chat to help you come up with rules and points changes for Thursday that you want to see. Indirect nerf included. There will be no indirect nerf, Steve. But if you're here or if you're not here, thank you so much for the 10, mate. Really appreciate it. And that's very kind of him. And if you want to support the channel, you can become a member today or you can super chat. That'd be really cool. So let me say hello to you. Mikey broke the NIDs before GW did. Now, GW broke the NIDs. I'm just telling everybody about it. Okay. Okay. Synaptic Nexus strats are yum. Synaptic Nexus and the Vanguard Onslaught are fire. Fire! That's what we'll say. It doesn't matter how broken the codex is, it still won't be as bonkers meta breaking as Eldar. Well, Marty Marv, don't forget, fingers crossed, Eldar are down in the dumps after the end of this week. So from Thursday, because Games Workshop have announced that the balanced data slate is coming out Thursday, it's plain sailing for the old Tyranids. It's plain sailing for the old Tyranids, that's all I'll say. Having tea and watching Mikey break the NIDS decks, perfect evening. I would say so too, Jamarty. Thanks so much for tuning in, buddy. Good evening, Dats and Des. How are you, mate? Howdy to you. Master Mouse said it's Mikey time. It is always Mikey time on a Monday from 7 till 9. It's Mikey's happy time. It is my happy time. Hello, I'm late. Yes, I know. Marty Marv, thank you so much for the 16 months of being a member. Looking forward to this review. I know. I'm excited. I'm glad I finally got my hands on it. And I think it's a great... I don't want to get you too much. I think it's a great book. Okay? Just like... I'm relatively impressed. I mean, there's some broken shit. But I'm relatively impressed with like the codex compared to like the last ones. Just as like a product as a whole. Now, the cover fucks me off. That's fair. You know? I think the cover's bad. But... We'll see. We'll see. How long have you been planning that joke about the cover? It was off the cuff, mate. Off the cuff. I did bitch about it last week, which I think it deserved. But I do think this cover is a statement from the in-house art designers in Games Workshop, because there is no credit in this book. And why would they credit it? It's just got a filter on it. They may as well have put it through AI and then put the logo behind it. Friday Bat Rep, hell yeah. Let's go gamers report from the Netherlands. Hell yeah, Grimslayer. What I do want to say, just jump back to Marty Marv, member for 16 months, absolute baby in chat. You can become a member for as little as £1.99. We're trying to hit 10 members every single stream. So now's the time if you ever want to support me or support what we do at Hellstormwargaming in general, whether it's what Elliot does, what Tom does, what Nick does, Neil, Billy, everyone, you know. We're all involved and we all have a great time, and all of that money gets put back into content to make cool videos for you. So if you want to support the channel, you can for as little as £1.99 a month. We're trying to hit 10 every single stream. Okay? Okay. Okay, that's the ads, chat. That's the ads. I'm watching from your living room. That's always really creepy. That is always really creepy. I'm watching from my kitchen. What are you doing in the kitchen? Making tea? What are we having? Is it me or is it like a kid has vomited over Mikey's arms? I have. It's a Palm Springs. That's where I'm at with this new codex. That's where I'm at with the new... Excuse me, camera. I didn't tell you to turn off. Dickhead. I just realised my alerts aren't on. There we go. Jamartin, thank you so much for that gifted membership. Kicking us off right with the first gifted member. You are a star, mate. Thank you so much. It'll definitely pop up in a minute on the old tracker. Sean Price, welcome to being a freeloader. You can join our Discord for free now for 30 days. You can type !Discord in chat, or there's a link in the description. And yeah, it'd be really cool if you want to join. You have to join our awesome community. Awful if it's free, awesome if it's paid for. So make sure you join that too. Imagine this guy streaming on Monday. I know, Detnol. I know. Me streaming on Monday. Cringe. Watching from Kansas City. Love your shit. Man, I love my shit too. It feels great. How was the Eldar Hammer 40k talk this weekend? Yeah, we streamed the Goonhammer Open this weekend. It was super fun. Like, look, listen, I've got to post that I'm going live, but look. Do you want to see peak Warhammer? Okay. Peak Warhammer. Are you ready? Here it is. Peak Warhammer. Look at that. Two fine gentlemen sat at a table working out how to win a game. Peak Warhammer. Oh, hey, thank you so much for the 17 months. Hashtag ad. And Datsun Does, thank you much for the 19 months. I have nothing interesting to say. I'll take it, mate. I'll take it. Thank you so much, mate. This is peak Warhammer, everyone. Listen, it was great. It was great. So, I had a great time streaming. Obviously, Nick and Tom were absolutely amazing helping me out this weekend. I literally couldn't have done it without them. It was super cool. They did great. We took the sofa, biggest brain play. I need a good tweet. Twitter's been crazy today. So many angry people on Twitter today. Haters won't... What's happening? Haters won't hear this, but this is what peak Warhammer looks like. We're live. That's the tweet, guys. If you want to go retweet it, that'd be super cool. YouTube.com/ I think it's /live. God, YouTube. /Hellstormwargaming. Will that work? We'll find out. Sorry, I got to post I'm going live. Peak Warhammer, everyone. Peak Warhammer stream. Posting I'm going live. Oh, let's go. Shit, that's not right. No, it's not. Ignore me. Don't retweet it. Don't retweet it. I can do this. I'm just trying to post that I'm going live. Look, it's just so difficult. Look, you just try and post you're going live, and then right, okay. We put the picture on, and then we go. Is it Hellstormwargaming.youtube.com/hell? Oh, that's why. How did I type that? Wargaming/live. Here we go. Here we go. Is it gonna work? Is the link gonna work? Let's go! That's me! I'm live! I mean, you know, well, everyone. Thanks for everyone. Go retweet it now if you want to. That'd be really cool of you. Anyway, wait. Are you happy with the new codex, or is it step in the wrong direction? Now, don't get me wrong. I criticize Games Workshop for a lot of things. I think the layout of the book is alright. I think it's a lot better than what we used to. I think the general content is pretty alright. And yeah, we'll get more into it. If you want to ask more specific questions, like should we have codexes? Maybe. Should we have an online rule set that everyone can access easily? Yeah. Should we be paying £5 a month and then buying a £35 codex to unlock every rule? Probably not. Don't agree with that. But I think the book's nice as a product, you know? Balance dates like aka Eldar getting their kneecaps broken deservedly. Well, yeah. Grey hashtag Meta Knights RV. Well, what could I say? Except thank you to ICD Chief
Gifted
for the 10 gifted. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Mate, thank you so much for the 10. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, with the help of Jamartin as well, we've already hit the goal. That's 11 new members already. I don't know why Jamartin didn't register, but that's fine.
Rejoin.
Bloody hell. Bloody hell, boy. I was just trying to talk about the codex being cringe. Right, anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. See you in a bit. I'm done. Thanks, ICU Chief. I'm off now. See ya. What can I say? I finished. I'm going to go downstairs, you know? I can't believe I've never done that before. Let's take the elevator. How have I never done that before? ICD Chief, thank you so much for the 10, mate. Thank you so much for the 10, buddy. You're a bloody star. Be like ICD Chief. Thank you for supporting the channel, bud. And, yeah, it's really, really kind, mate. That's a lot of money. So thank you so much, bud. Absolute legendary human, absolute legendary person, and he's made all these fucking freeloaders we got now. !! Discord if you're called Dave Irvin, JW, Wargamer Ape, Matty Doyle, Schwarm Matt, Josh Dedrick, William Powell, Biz Git L Godfrey, or Uboofer. You've just been gifted a membership, you're a freeloader, you can't afford anything clearly, you just want everything for free. And now you've just got our Discord for free for 30 days, so make sure you come in and join. Thank you so much, ICD Chief. That's star, mate. You're a star. Okay. Be like a grey knight and banish them grey names. Hell yes. Let's go, ICD Chief. Who's your favourite member? The last one I just gifted. Okay. That's my favourite member. So, yeah. It's ICD Chief right now. If anyone wants to top in, what can I say? I'm easily swayed. I'm easily swayed. I'm like the Tories. Easily swayed. Are we going to get a Baldur's Gate 3 stream? No. Are we going to get a Starfield stream? Maybe. Maybe. Because when can I play? Can I play today? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. Maybe. Oh, you can't see the time. Maybe we get a Starfield stream in a day and 5 hours. Would that be interesting? I'm going to make my pronouns they, them on the game. You know what? It's going to be great. There's a mod supposedly coming for Space Marines in Starfield. So I'm going to make a Space Marine in Starfield and then give them the they, them pronouns. Okay? That's how I'm going to play the game. So, can my PC run Starfield? No fucking idea, mate. I'm about ready for a new graphics card, so. I hope Thursday will make Oath and Moment just reroll one for either hit or wound. Mate, Space Marines are shit. Okay? I won't have this Space Marine hate in chat. Space Marines shit. They need more Oath and Moment. I think they should just get it on everybody. That should be their army rule. Reroll hits and wounds against everyone. You ran Elden Ring and run Starfield. I ran Elden Ring in Ultra as well, to be fair. I went 2-2-1 with Death Guard. Oh, well done, Des. Death Guard have had a bit of a resurgence this weekend. We had Innis go 4-2 or 3-2, beating 2 Eldar players. It must be a fix. Must be a fix. I feel like I haven't seen a proper battle report review yet. Everybody's done weird and unbalanced videos so far. It's probably because we just, like, don't know where the codex sits. Because, like, all of the points are different than the Munitorum Field Manual. So, I think people are, like, edging on the side of caution. Of, like, maybe wait for the Field Manual to update. Because, like, in the back of the book, which I did like. Something I did like as well. Again, I'm giving the Games Workshop so much credit right now. Jesus, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? It says, in addition, as you can see, this is what I'm reading. In addition to the points value printed here, which you can use in agreement with your opponent, this codex is supported with live online points value so you can enjoy the most balanced and exciting games of Warhammer 40k. Scan this QR code to see the latest points value. Now, all the points are different in here than they are in the field manual. Now, I don't expect that to last, okay? And, like, the Biovores and the Pyrovores went up in points in the previous field manual, and then this has got the old points and cheaper than the old points. So I don't think these points are correct. So I think people are just kind of, like, playing, like, fun doozy games, like having a great time, you know? But purely because they don't want to run like a super proper one, because we know like a field manual was due sometime soon, and now we know exactly when it is. It's going to be Thursday. So, well, I would imagine points will change the date. It's like, I think we'll have the most up to date. So definitely Biovores and Pyrovores are too cheap in this book. So it's a wonder you can stand up straight, Mike, with you doing it so far up your... Listen, I criticise them. I started the stream within 4 seconds. I criticised the cover, okay? Let me give them something so they don't completely hate me. I did say the cover is dog shit, okay? I spoke about the cover for about 40 minutes the other day on stream, saying it was dog shit. And this new Space Marine one is also dog shit. So... I'm getting new points on Thursday. They've said they're going to be doing a balanced data slate and points in September, and they've announced a balanced data slate is going to be on Thursday. So I would presume that the points would be on Thursday as well. I'm trying to catch up with chat, but I'm really far behind. So everyone who said something, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to run forward. Really enjoy the Goonham stream. Thanks, Blanks. I ran out of content on round 4-5. Yeah, I know. Got you on the big TV. Hell yeah, gamer. JW, thanks for the 5, brother. Thanks for the 5, man. I don't know why it's... For some reason, my streamer bots, my alert's not really working. Freeloader no more. Anyway, what does realistically need to happen to overall balance me to come back from Horus Heresy? Dev Wounds in the bin. Anti-Kinder in the bin. Eldar in the bin. Then you'll come back. It'd be great. Yeah, I'm gonna have to skip forward. I'm way too far behind now. I'm sorry. Any new lore in the Nid Codex, mate? I've only just got the physical copy. I've got no idea. I literally got the book this morning. So... I'm more excited for the balanced data slate than I am the new models. I mean, yeah. I'm excited for the balanced data slate because I'm like cautiously optimistic about it, because like this is it. They know the game's shit. They know the game's bad. Okay? They know the game's really, really bad. So, if they fix it now, it'll be great. And if they don't fix it, company goes poo poo. Okay? Company goes poo 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 poo. It goes doo. So profits go doo, and then they have to do something. Okay? So whilst they're making loads of money selling models, like competitively and just casual wise, just game wise, their biggest IP is in the shitter, and they know it's in the shitter because they have the Meta Watch which proves it. DN stuff, thank you so much for the 34 months, mate. My god, 2 months from 3 years. Bet there's confusion of which points should be used for NIDs. Would have been easy to just not put any points in the codex. Yeah, I think probably not bothering putting them in the codex would probably make sense, to just be like, hey, to get points, follow this link. But it's nice that there's like that little blurb of being like, hey, you know, the updates are online. It's a QR code, which I like, you know. Someone click that. What the boop boop boop? The company's in the shitter and it's on its way down. Games Workshop basically dying. That's what I said. Basically dying. I'm here to laugh at balance, mate. We did all that yesterday, watching Eldar fucking slap each other for 5 turns. flavor will bring you back from Heresy. Yeah, Heresy's just like... Heresy's good. It's an alright game. But I think, like, the variety in 40k is the best thing about it. Latest stream so high, but 1% that QR code is just going to go to a paywall day one. Now, let's check. Shall I test it? I haven't actually tested it, so it could just say, give me £5. It could just be like a link to pay for something. Shall I have a look? Are you ready? Oh. It takes me to the download section. So I think the QR's alright. It's just a generic link to the download section, which is quite nice actually. I quite like that. $40k is total dumpster fire. The 40k isn't a total dumpster fire. Eldar dumpster fire. But that's that's literally everything. Honestly thought Mike was gonna rickroll us. Mate, isn't, come on now, it's 2023, can't rickroll you. Big C, thank you so much for the 2 months, brother. As a Talon Tyranid player, I'm looking at the Norna simulator and thinking, Storm Surge goes zap in 1 turn. That's a rough benchmark though. Man, the Norna simulator sounds cool, and it is cool. But the Norn Emissary is just better and cheaper. For some reason. I feel like the Norn Emissary should be way more expensive. Yeah, the Norn Emissary is way better. The Assimilator has better combat, but the Emissary, just on paper, just better. For a pin one is a huge sell in my opinion. Because they have basically the same profile. They both have the monstrous scything talons. Now the Norn Emissary has the extra attacks at damage 2, and the Norn Assimilator has the extra attacks at damage 12 d6 plus 1, which is obviously good, but for a pin one. Okay, for a pin one. That is pretty big. Norn Emissary can't kill big monsters. I mean, it can in shooting and in combat. It's pretty good. Like 3 damage with 6 attacks is pretty fire, you know. And it's got the melter shots, two shots, strength 12, -3, d6. Yeah, that means you can stay on your objective and get the feel no pain. Damage 12, no. Strength 12, damage d6 plus 1. It's also ordered all the new Tyranid releases on your card. Has it? Oh, that's alright then. How many points in Norn Emissary? 285, mate. It's not a hero. Strength 9 is not going into vehicle. No. No, it's not amazing. It's not exactly terrible. But only like 4 attacks. The thing is you have to remember is like when you've got like strength 12 -3 d6 plus 1, but you've only got 4 attacks, you're going into something that has an invuln. You put them in the mirror. Put them in the mirror. Put them in the mirror, okay? You're going to be on a 4-pin one anyway, so you're going to be ignoring half the damage that goes through. It's 3s to wounds. You got 4 attacks, so you're hitting 4 of them, probably, potentially 3. Okay. And then you roll into wound, which is 3s again, so probably 2, and I'm saving one of them because it's a 4-pin one. Two episodes is expensive. Review when? We're shooting the shit, bro. In a few minutes. I'm not doing a review. I'm breaking it. I didn't mean to say damage 12. I meant strength 12, damage d6 plus 1. Must have misread it. Stefan, you're exactly right, mate. Emissary has the shooting, which is better than the harpoon. It has an invuln. It has a 4 feel no pain against mortals. Is it all mortals or just psychic mortals? Having the book is so much easier to read. Oh man. 4 against mortal wounds. So it looks at devastating wounds and goes half damage, essentially. OC 15 and a 4+ on a field on a point is bonkers. It's 5+, but 4 up against more wounds. Like, the shooting's alright. To be fair, the toxin injector's alright. It's like 12-inch range, though. 2 shots, strength 12, -3, d6 +1 in shooting, the harpoon, and then you get +2 to charge. Which is fine. But it's -3, so you're going to be probably against a 4 or a 5 up in one. Which means a saving a half or a third of them. Then you get +2 to charge, and you're better in combat, but it's only 4 attacks. It's not crazy. It's not like 7 attacks, 5 attacks, or something like that, you know? 4 + 3 no pain isn't half damage if you roll like that demon player in round 4 at Goonhammer. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. They both have sign-ups, yeah. Want to convert the Dimecharon to one of the 2 new models, even if it's bigger, it's more... But I'm a casual here. Yeah, like, the Dimecharons are quite big compared. The Norn Emissary is about the same size as a Trigon. So they're not like super big. They're nice models. I don't have mine here. I think it's downstairs. So I've been painting it, keeping it out of the way. But the Norn Emissary and the Simulator are cool models. They're quite big, but they're only about big as a Trigon. So Dimecharons are quite a lot larger. And a different base as well. The Emissary's on a big round base. Yeah, the models, I do, mate, yeah. So, I don't know how much we're able to get finished for Friday. I'd really love to get a fucking ton of Lictor models painted. And maybe, like, another 12 Von Ryan Leapers, but probably not just yet. I don't have enough time, that's the problem. Like, it's just trying to find time to paint shit. And it's also frustrating, like, suffering from success moment. Like, trying to paint stuff on stream on a Wednesday and then trying to paint stuff that I can't tell anyone about any other days are all really difficult. The Lictors are sick, yeah. As we have child labour for, but they're not signed with GW. I don't think GW signed children. Have Georgie help you? Yeah, I bet she'd love that. Yeah, Georgie, it's Friday night, right? Okay. We've got some Lictors to paint. Let's go. Anyway, it's past. Do you think you can build both non-types with magnets? I don't think so. I'm gonna be a fucking bitch. Like, I think it was the face. The face that it. Let me go and grab the sprues. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Because really, the only different parts of these... So you got, like, the head, which you could probably magnetize. And then, like, one of the arms. But is there, like, the harpoon shit? You won't be able to magnetize the harpoons. They're too small. Or they're the carapace. And then the only real difference is the tail. And this bit, which is, like, the lower body that joins the tail to the main body. It has a slightly different angle for the assimilator compared to the other one. I ordered a load of NID stuff while trying to fix my single finger win rate with grey knives. Excellent. Excellent. Anyway, shall we do it? Shall we do it? Is it time? Is it time, gamers? I think it might be. It's time. You know what time it is. I was looking for a song. Which one should I go with? Should I go this one? Time for bed. No. It's time! The brand new Tyranny Codex is here. And guess what? I already broke it. Obviously, what else did you expect? It's a new codex. It's a new day. Thank you to Big C for the gift of membership. You can support the channel and what I do by becoming a member yourself. You're a bloody star, mate. And it's time to talk about the brand new Tyranny Codex. You might have seen I released 2 videos about the Tyranny Codex already to give you all of the information literally as fast as possible. And it was this video.
Slot explain really fast. The new Tyranny Codex.
Let me tell you everything about the best bit of the book.
The Vanguard Onslaught allows early outflanks of Vanguard Invader units like Death Leapers, Lictors, G3s, or anything that can fly. All Tyranny units can fall back and charge, whilst Vanguard Invader units can also advance and charge. You can upgrade your Vanguard Invader characters with the following enhancements: Hunting Grounds to force.
This is great. I'll just play a video. This is how it all works, by the way. Don't know if you realise, but I don't need to teach. I don't need to talk. Just listen.
Your opponent's reserves to take a battle shock test. Chameleonic to give stealth and cover for protection whilst lurking. Stalker to let the character hunt a particular enemy for +1 to hit and wound. And Neuro to redeploy 3 invader units. And it's after the first turn roll, so it's useful. There's also 6 stratagems. Surprise Assault to get +1 to hit and perhaps +1 to wound after a battle shock test. Assassin's Beast to target characters. Seed and Bruise to arrive on the table earlier from strategic reserves. Hypersensory Cilia to react to your opponents getting too close. Invisible Hunters to take units off the board, and Unseen Lurkers to hide in plain sight and gain Lone Operative or make it even better. All Tyranids also come with Synapse and Shadow in the Warp. And that's it for the Vanguard.
And that's it. That's it. That's all I said. That's it. Here's a cool thing. Here's all of the rules. But what happens when you take Vanguard Onslaught and push it to the limit? And this is what happens. Are you ready? Here it is. The list of lists. The list of lists. Okay, you're looking at a lot of stuff. You're looking at a list row with the points found in here. So, balanced data slate permitting, it still works. I left you 10 points. Okay, this is my list that I think is probably one of the strongest lists in this book. Or something close to it. Okay, now it's probably not perfect. It probably could be improved, but I think the core of it, or the core concept of it, is pretty lit. Okay, Vanguard Onslaught. It's great. It's great. Your entire army can fall back and charge, which is really good. But Vanguard Invaders can they can advance and charge as well. Okay, so let's just take an entirely flying or infiltrating or scout moving army. Okay. Your entire army pretty much can infiltrate all of the main big characters, except for the high tyrants and the gene sealers. Everything can infiltrate. Okay, you deploy the entire army 9 inches away if you want to. But the characters also have lone operative. The parasite does. All of the lictors do. They have lone operative, so they can't be targeted over 12. So this gives you 6 characters that all can't be targeted with over 12, which are really good at screwing with your opponent because of their rules that they have. They're really good at playing missions, such as getting engaged on all fronts because they're really hard to target, deploying teleport homers, doing investigate signals. They're really good at doing all the tricks, okay? Playing all the missions, and also they're all really, really cheap, okay? You also have 3 units of 6 Von Ryan's Leapers. Von Ryan's Leapers are pretty nice, to be fair. They get a whole bunch of attacks. Let me just scroll to their data sheet. The data sheet is exactly the same as the index as far as I'm aware. Let me find it. Where are they gone? That's the other problem is finding... I don't know the order in this book anymore. That's the other problem, trying to find shit. Von Ryan's Leapers. They have a 5+ invulnerable save and 3 wounds. 3 wounds is kind of nice because a lot of things are damaged too. They can use the Heroic Intervention strat for free, even if it's already been used this phase. They have 6 attacks each, and there's 6 of them, so it's a whole bunch of attacks at strength 5, -1 damage. Now it's only -1 and 1 damage, but it's just a bunch of attacks. They also have Infiltrators, obviously, so you can deploy 9 away. They have Stealth, so they're pretty much always getting cover, and they fight first, so you get charged. You fight first. If you lock something in combat, you still fight first, which is kind of nice. Now, they're pretty fun. They're pretty good. You also have 2 Flyrants. Now, Flyrants are pretty fun because they are fast. Okay, they allow you to use stratagems for free, and there's a lot of good stratagems, as we've just gone over in Vanguard Onslaught. And the stratagems are kind of like playing Genestealer Cults and Grey Knights and like Eldar all at the same time. Okay, so being able to use multiple stratagems a turn is really good, because what you can do is pick up like 4 units and put them in reserve turn 1, and then bring them down turn 1. Using the stratagem known as Invisible Hunter, which is very cool. Any opponent's fight phase can pick up 2 Vanguard Invader units, which is not limited to infantry, or 1 Turners infantry unit, which is none of these units. So you can pick up 4 units by using that stratagem for free. And then you can bring them on early turn 1 because they've been placed into strategic reserves, or they're going into reserves. You can use things like where is it? Cedar Broods. 1 Turnage unit or up to 2 Vanguard Invader units that are in reserves, and they can arrive earlier than normal, which is very cool strat. Very, very cool strat. Okay. You have 30 Genestealers, only 1 Broodlord. Broodlord gives them devastating wounds. 30 Genestealers. Genestealers infiltrate 8 and then have an 8-inch move and can advance and charge. That is a minimum of 22. Sorry, not 22. A minimum, on average, a minimum of like 17-inch move. But on average, a 20-inch move before charging turn 1 if you go first. And the great thing is, if you don't go first, they scout 8. So they can move 8 inches in any direction. And you also have Neuro Node, which is 30 points, which allows you to redeploy 3 units. Okay? Let's say you infiltrated all of your characters with Lone Operative. Well, they can't be targeted over 12, so they're in a pretty safe position, probably, as long as you place them right. The Von Ryan Leapers are all on the front line, so you can pick up 3 units and redeploy them. You can put them somewhere else on the board, or put them in strategic reserve, and then bring them on early using the stratagem. And then all your G-Stealers that you deployed on the front line get to move 8. You just move them 8 out the way. Who is the battle line? Doesn't matter. You don't need battle line. And then you're like, Mikey, why have you got Ripper Swarms? Let me tell you why I've got Ripper Swarms. Because, you know, you can deep strike him at the 15 points. You take single Ripper Swarms now, because that's what comes in the box. Thanks, Games Workshop. For 15 points, you get a 40mm base that can deep strike. Okay. A 40mm base that can deep strike. It's tough as 2 with 4 wounds. It can't hold an objective, but what you can do is half the OC value of other units nearby, which is great. But you know when you just draw in to deploy Teleport Homer, or engage, or anything? You just go, okay, here's a Ripper Swarm, got it. And it's so dumb. It's so dumb. So you just go, I can outplay the mission all day. I've got 2 High Tyrants, 30 G-Stealers, and 18 Von Ryan's Leapers to kind of annoy my opponent. No, this list will not table you. This will not table you turn 1. But what it does do, it allows you to throw so much at your opponent to wrap, to trap, to annoy, to precision characters, because pretty much everything has precision, or you can give them precision, such as Assassin's Beasts, 1 Vanguard Invader infantry unit that has not fought, such as those Von Ryan's Leapers. They can go and snipe characters in combat. You just turn up, you put all your characters in cool places, and this is not even considering what the characters actually do. They're just Lone Operative. That's all I've told you so far. Okay. So they just arrive, they do all the missions, they have a great time. You've got 2 Flyrants that advance and charge. How far do Flyrants move again? It's pretty decent. They move 12, so minimum 15-inch move, and then charging, especially when the most popular board chat. Let me show you the most popular board in the game. Or the deployment even. The most popular type of deployment is this bad boy, as you can see. This bad boy. The corners, the search and destroy, and guess what? That point to that point, and this point to that point are very close. It's about 18 inches. So if you think a Hive Tyrant's deployed here and you advance it, it's already here. outside your deployment zone, ready to charge something. Probably being able to charge something on this objective very, very early. Okay? Because they used to eat that list before lunch. Maybe. But you can go in, try and destroy some characters, and you can also stay the fuck away from it and play the mission. This list plays the mission harder than any list that I think is out there. You know? It's less than 18. There you go, I see you, Chief. It's less than 18. It's a very short distance between deployment zones. Now, if you're going to go into custodies, yeah, you're gonna hurt. But the fact is that you have all of these units that can go on alpha any other list. Go wrap some tanks, go bully some characters, as I mentioned. Be on every objective turn 1. Pretty much do any card that you draw turn 1. And all of the characters are very, very good. As I said, the Hive Tyrant is fun because it can use a stratagem for free. It's pretty good in combat, and also you can basically do paroxysm. So start the fight phase, select one unit within 12 invisible. On a 1, you take D3 mortal wounds, but on a 2, you can subtract 1 from the weapons equipped by that model, so you can make stuff weaker, which is nice. It always has a heavy venom cannon or a stranglethorn cannon, and then it has the bone sword, and just having a great time. 3 damage, twin links, or rerolling wounds. But let me tell you about the characters. The Neurolictor, best 60 points in the game, probably. Best 60 points in this codex, probably. Lone operative, stealth, and infiltrators. As I said, if you kill a character, you gain a CP. Now, it's essentially a lictor that's worse in combat. It's only 1 damage rather than 2. It still has precision, a strength 6 -2, 1 damage, which is nice. But it has a 4+4 at T5 with 7 wounds, so a pretty good amount of wounds for 60 points. In your command phase, let one enemy unit within 12 inches of this model, it must take a battle shock test, which is nice. You're just forcing things to take battle shock tests. Each time a model, whilst the unit is within 12 inches, if that unit is battle shocked, you subtract 1 from the hit roll, and all turners get +1 to wound against that unit. So the Neurolictor with Lone Op, it can get close enough that it can start forcing units to battle shock, but also giving your entire army +1 to wound. Okay? Which is pretty nice. You then have the Parasite. The Parasite of Mortrex, which each time an infantry model is destroyed by this model, which is actually pretty good. It's got 6 attack, strength 5 -1, 1 damage, but then it has an extra attack, which is like the anti-infantry 3+, strength 3, -2, 3 damage, so pretty much kills an infantry every time, you'd hope. You get a Ripper Swarm, so doing more actions, having a great time. And also, if you select a unit in the fight phase that's engaged with it, you make it battle shocked. So you can, another way to make a battle shock a unit. Vanguard Assault has a stratagem to just battle shock a unit anywhere on the battlefield as it's written. It's called Surprise Assault. Let me pull it up on here. Ooh, wrong one. Let me pull up Surprise Assault on here. Now this is all shorthand. I wrote these. I made these. That's why they're not quite right. Surprise Assault. Your shoot phase or fight phase, you choose 1 Vanguard Invader unit from your army that has not been selected to shoot or fight, and 1 enemy unit. Okay, and we've got the same problem that we had with the Helverin, the Arbiger strat. So it says that enemy unit must take a battle shock test until the end of the phase. Each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets the enemy unit, add 1 to hit roll. If the battle shock test was failed, add 1 to wound, which is great. But also, it doesn't say you have to select that model to get it. You get +1 to hit against them. But what you do is you go, I'll spend 1 CP, battle shock test, please. I'm not going to engage with you. I'm going to shoot something else. Okay? But what you can do is force a battle shock here, force a battle shock there. The Neurolictor obviously gives you +1 to wound against units that are battle shock that are near that one. So you can just go, right, you over there, battle shock. Okay? I could do it twice in a turn with the Hive Tyrant, you know, I go Surprise Assault on this unit and Surprise Assault on this unit. 2 battle shocks, please. And battle shock doesn't come up too much because a lot of the time you do it in the command phase, you fail 1, and then you auto pass it with a command point. But what you can do is force battle shocks in multiple phases where they can't use that stratagem. And if you're forcing your opponent to take battle shocks multiple times a turn, they're going to fail some, and some of those are going to be crucial. Okay. Who else have we got? We've got a Lictor. We've got 3 Lictors, actually. Now, you could take 3 Lictors. You could take 3 Neurolictors, to be honest. I think Neurolictors are probably better. They're just... Lictors are better in combat. That's all, really. But they also have a cool strat or a cool ability called Pheromone Trail, which is once per battle round you can target this model with rapid ingress for 1 CP. So if you want to put a couple in reserve, you can deep strike them. If you want to pick them up and put them down in your opponent's turn, which is also cool, they can come down for free. And every time they kill a character, they gain a CP, which is obviously all these good stratagems. You're going to want loads of CP. I almost considered putting a Swarm Lord in for that reason, but I almost wanted to put a Swarm Lord to gain an extra CP, but I feel like with Hive Tyrants and Lictors probably going in with precision at 6 attack, strength 7, -2 damage, that is pretty nice. Parasite is just 1 Ripper Swarm, mate. And then finally the Death Leaper. Now the Death Leaper can be your Warlord, which is cool. The Death Leaper also has Feeder Tendrils. He's basically a better Lictor. But whilst an enemy unit is within 6 inches of this model, worsen the leadership characteristic of models in that unit by 1. In addition, if in the Battle Shock step of your opponent's command phase, if an enemy unit is below its starting strength, it must take a Battle Shock. So that's another way to force a Battle Shock even before they're below half strength. And also, Gwatkin, you're perfectly right. The Neurolictor is in the command phase, not in the Battle Shock step. Yeah, so you force it in your command phase, so they can't ignore that one either. So you're forcing loads of different ways to Battle Shock a unit, and a lot of the time they can't ignore it. Which is pretty fun. Now, there's something else. The other enhancements, now I'm not specifically put down which enhancement goes where, because I don't think it really matters. But you got play. You got Hunting Grounds, as I mentioned. So Hunting Grounds is to... Sorry, not Hunting Grounds. Neuronode. To redeploy 3 in Vanguard Invader units and put them in reserve if you want to after the first turn roll. And obviously you got scouts on the Gene Stealers and stuff like that. Now Chameleonic is great on a High Tyrant because it gives benefit of cover and stealth, which is nice. So stealth is mediocre, but giving a Hive Tyrant essentially +1 save for 15 points. So it'll have essentially a 1+ save until AP comes into it. It's pretty nice. You can't infiltrate a redeploy. You're not infiltrating on a redeploy. You're pulling them away because you went second. So deploy them right at the front, Jamartin, and then pull them all back if you go second. So, and you can put them in reserve. And then the Gene Stealers pull back if they need to as well. You've got like a really fun alpha with all of these like precision or anti-infantry screening units. So they just murder all your opponent's infantry and mission playing units for your opponent. And then if you don't go first, you pull them off the board. Or you put them in reserve, or you put them somewhere else. And then Hunting Grounds. Hunting Grounds is the fun one. While the bear is set up on the battlefield, so this goes on like the Parasite who's hiding at the back or something, or a Lictor that's hiding at the back, or the Brood Lord that's waiting in the deployment zone or something. While the bear is on the battlefield, each time your opponent sets up a reserves unit, roll a d6 on a 2+, that unit must take a battle shot test. So that's another way to force a battle shot test. If you get enough battle shots going off and your opponent starts failing them, there'll be like a cascade of their efficiency will fall through the floor, and you'll be able to go, oh, I'm only OC1, but you're OC0 because you failed the battle shock, so I'll yoink that objective, please. And that's going to like really fuck with your opponent's plans. And what it's going to do is stop your opponent playing the mission. This isn't a list that's going to charge you and kill your opponent's army turn 1. What it's going to do is be a list that it gives your opponent a lot to deal with early, and then you go in and you battle shock out half their army, and then they can't play the mission while your lone operatives are like, just deploy the teleport, Homer. And then your Ripper Swarm comes down and goes, behind enemy lines. Because that's what you have to remember. Sometimes writing a list isn't just about killing your opponent. A lot of the time, it's going to come down to outplaying your opponent. And this forces your opponent's hand of not being able to do stuff. It'd be like, oh, well, that unit was going to get engaged. It's really fast. But now this slow unit has to advance to try and get engaged because the other one's battle shocked. And it doesn't count. You know? So that's the plan. That's the game plan. I think this is going to be a really hard army to play, but it has so many tools in the toolbox. It's great. It's so good, I think. I think it's the best way to run them. And I think all the Lictor molds are really cool. Again, you can play around with it. Maybe 2 Neurolictors would be fun. You know, maybe drop the Parasite if you don't want something. I feel like the Parasite's really fast, so that could be good for playing the mission and screening and stuff like that. But it's all lone operative, all infiltrating, all stealth, or it can deep strike, or it can scout. Have I not talked about any of the stratagems? We talked about surprise assault, to just force battle shocks everywhere. Another way to do it. We've talked about assassin beasts. It doesn't sound great until you go Von Ryan Leapers have like 9,000 attacks and you give them all precision. Cedar Broods, you can set up early. So if you do pull off your Vanguard, Von Ryan's Leapers, or even the Hive Tyrants, turn 1 because you went second, you pull them off the board. During your turn 1, you play Cedar Broods and arrive on the table earlier than normal. You can bring them back on turn 1 and start doing stuff. Hypersensory Cecilia. So if your opponent gets too close to your lone operatives, you can move away. And then you got Unseen Lurkers for super lone operatives, essentially, as we've already mentioned. So super lone operatives, where is it? This one. Give a unit lone operative. Wait, no. That's wrong. Did I use the wrong stratagem? I think I made 2 hypersensory, right? Because I realized there was an issue. Hypersensory, that's right. Unseen Lurkers. Oh, yeah. That's the effect is wrong. That's fine. I made this myself. It's fine. It's fine. So, Unseen Lurkers, one invader unit that's just been selected, you can't target unless you're within 12. If it has lone operative, it can't take it unless you're within 6. So, if your opponent tries to deep strike to take out one of your characters, you go, can't see me. Can't see me. So yeah, that's how I broke the Tyranid Codex. I think that's probably one of the best ways to run the book. Now, obviously, the other great one is Synaptic Nexus, which I'll probably talk about at a later date because I've not had the book long enough to give it a real look. But it does sound good. It sounds like the better way to run Crusher Stampede. And I think John Cena. I think the Crusher Stampede is probably the worst one. The really broken thing, probably the biggest broken thing about this codex is this. You don't need to buy it. I know, shock horror. This codex, you don't even need to buy it. You know why? You know why you don't need to buy it? It's because the Invader... What's it called? Let me get the name right. Invasion Fleet is really good, but it's also identical to the Index. Okay, it's identical to the Index. Now, the Index is still available. It might not be available forever. Okay, but Invasion Fleet, Synaptic Nexus, and Invasion Onslaught, Vanguard Onslaught are probably the 3 strongest out of the 6. The 3 strongest ones to run. And Invasion Fleet has a lot of play still. Now, Vanguard Onslaught is great. Super tricksy, super fun, I think. We'll talk more about it in a minute. I think Synaptic Nexus, I've not looked at it too much to get a real like opinion on it. But Invasion Fleet is very strong. We just saw Nathan Roberts go 5-1 with it this weekend. And a lot of the data sheets are basically the same as well. There's obviously new ones, but a lot of the data sheets are the same. So if you went out and you downloaded the Index, or you bought the Index cards for the start of the edition, and you really like running Invasion Fleet, you actually don't even need to buy the Codex. You only really need to get hold of the data sheets of the new models, and you can continue to play Invasion Fleet, which is something that I think Games Workshop haven't realized. If they make the free one really good, people don't even need to go out and buy it. They can just carry on playing Invasion Fleet, which is great, I think, because it is strong. It is great, and no one can take that away from you. And I think it's a good way to play. It's a pretty all-arounder, which is nice, which means you can have a lot of play of different units. Every unit feels like good to a point in that detachment, and you don't have to buy it. So there's my first review of the Tyranid Codex, I guess. Index will go. Well, you can buy data cards from shops that still have them. You can download the PDF now. Someone will have a copy of the PDF. You can play Invasion Fleet now and continue to play it. You know, the points are free. The detachment's available right now. You can just play that one. The other thing that's really changed is, like, there's a couple of, like, Gene Stealer changed. Like, Death Leaper's got an extra wound, but you can work that out, you know? Feels like a very big brain army for the Nids in the right hands. I believe it's going to be epic. I think it'll be great. I think it's a good core. I think it's a good core list. You could do a lot with it. Like, you could, like, go, I'm going to run Invasion... sorry, not Invasion Fleet. Vanguard Onslaught. And then put 3 non-emissaries in there. Because I think non-emissaries are sick. I think they're so good. You know? 285 points for 2 up, 4 up. 4 up against Psychic Mortals. 5 up on the objective encounters OC15. I think it's insane. I think you're going to see non-emissaries everywhere, to be honest. And with Eldar probably getting nerfed this week, I think big monsters are going to come back in style. So, interested to see what Nathan Roberts brings to the LGT if he still plays Neds. Yeah, for sure. It'd be very interesting. PDS, where? On Warhammer Community? Where all the PDFs are? Nathan just copied Sean Naden's list. Yeah, it's fine. He said USA Tyranids, to be fair, on the list. It still takes a lot to go off and beat Eldar and go 5-1 and beat Thousand Suns. The Emissary is a cute model. The Emissary is great. Just versus the Assimilator, I just think the Emissary is much better. Mikey copied Nassim and became a world champion. I did. It's as easy as that. Initial lists have been too far towards Scory. The thing is with Tyranids, I do think Tyranids lack a lot of like anti-tank and anti... Just damage out, raw damage output is relatively low. It's not great. Amal said to have similar durability, but it doesn't have the OC. So yeah, there's not a great deal of like really good anti-tank, whether shooting or combat. It's all relatively limited. There's a lot of strength 9 in this book, which is the problem, you know, which is a real problem. So what you have to do is you have to take units that are really good at playing the mission, and that's how you win. Now, obviously, Nathan or Sean Naden or whoever wants to run the list, Nathan did well with his weekend. We'll say Nathan was running some Tyranids, and he was running like Exocrines, triple Carnifex. He had 2 Tyrannofexes. Now they're all just like big chunky boys, you know, big chunky boys, which is fine, which is great. But like the damage output is relatively limited. So what you kind of have to really react, well, except for the Psychic Overload, it's strength 10 minus 2/3 damage at D6 plus 3 shots. That's great. So maybe just run fucking Maliceptors. But yeah, so like the damage output of a Tyranid book is relatively low. So I think a lot of people are starting to look at like how to just like outplay the mission like way quicker than your opponent. How can you get to 100, and how can you stop your opponent getting to 100 as fast as possible? I actually prefer Invasion Fleet for bugs with 5+ and lethal hits versus tanks. Yeah, lethal hits versus tanks is nice. But that's what I mean. Like, Invasion Fleet's a great way to run the army. It's like a lot of people will probably not realize that Invasion Fleet is the free one that came in the index, but it's also just good. Now, there is a fun trick with Crusher Stampede. If you are like desperate to run Crusher Stampede, this is something that James from Goonhammer pointed out to me. So full credit to him. I think he got it from someone in Discord. There's a really fun trick. If you want to take loads of Tyranid monsters And obviously, Enraged Behemoths, as I pointed out in the short, Enraged Behemoths, if you're below starting strength, you get +1 to hit. If you're below half strength, you get +1 to wound. You have a stratagem called Corrosive Viscera, or Viscera. Now, there's a bunch of stuff in this book that explodes because it's Tyranids and they all explode and they're nasty. But one thing that does explode is a Pyrovore, okay? Pyrovore and Biovores, they both have deadly demise. What you can do is bait your opponent into shooting a Pyrovore turn 1. Put the Pyrovore on the front line, out in the open. You know, they draw no prisoners or something, they kill a Pyrovore, okay? But what you do is you deploy the Pyrovore and all your cool big monsters that want to get +1 to hit near the Pyrovore within 6. And then you use Corrosive Viscera to... Oh, it's only turning his monster. Oh, shit. Let me just double check it's on monster keyword. I don't know if it does. Ah, shit. That plan might be out the window. Or a Psychophage. You could do it with a Psychophage. My plan might be out the window. My plan might be out the window. Ah, shit, they're infantry. Okay, take a Psychophage. And do the same thing. Put it on the front line. It's got bigger base. Great. Yeah, put it on the front line. Get them to shoot it and kill it. Use Corrosive Viscera to make it explode. All your army takes 1 mortal wound and your entire army has +1 to hit. It's nice attachments are all different playstyles. The assimilation swarm is surprising and weird. Problem with only 4 units with the keyword. Yeah, the Harvester one's a very strange one, I would say. I think the unending swarm's fun, but the assimilation swarm with the Harvester keyword is just a bit odd. I don't really know how it fits because it's like you can target all these Harvesters, but you're basically spamming the same 4 units like Psychophage, the fucking Horospex, is it? The big one? The big monster thing. There's also the other one. I can't remember what it's called. What's the other one that spits out? Tervigon, that's it. Oh, Tervigon's not a Harvester. Why is the Tervigon not a Harvester? Well, there you go. How is the Tervigon not a Harvester when it's all about healing shit? I don't know. Problem with Crusher Stampede is that basically tells your opponent, don't damage them, kill them. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Do Deathwatch kill them? I mean, Deathwatch kill a lot, mate. So, yeah. The thing is with Tyranids is a lot of it's just really cheap. Pretty much every unit came down 5 points. I don't know if these points are going to stick, but it basically came down 5 points. Can I run 2,000 point Crush Stampede of nothing but Carnifexes? Let's work it out. Ooh. Let's work it out. Carnifex. You take old one eye for 140 points. Carnifex, 250 points for 2. So you can maybe do 1,000. You can do less than 1,000 points in purely Carnifex, I'm afraid. I'm annoyed Termagant guns are all 3 per unit per 10. So I have to find a way to outfit the Leviathan ones so you don't get extras. I thought it was 2. The thing is with the Termagant weapons is like all of them are shit bar the Flamer. Oh, you can take Screamer Killers, yeah, true. Ease of 2, you can't get the +1 to wound bonus, also true. Pretty dumb. You tell me my 28 Carnifexes don't get to play with the new book. Yeah, you can take 3 Screamer Killers and 6 Carnifexes, and then old one eye. That is probably your max. Oh, I suppose you could take 3 special weapons per 10. But the best one is the Strangle Web. Strength 2, Torrent, Dev Wounds. But there's no reason you would take them because they're free. But, like, they're really weird. All the guns are a bit weird. They're all just like, why is a Termagant carrying a special weapon? Is it not like unit by unit? They'd be, because they're all like organic weapons. Like, Devourers are still fine. Not Devourers. Flesh Borers are still fine at strength 5. No AP on them. But, like, the Shard Launcher from the Barb Gaunts, you probably wouldn't bother taking it. I guess I could probably just do all one eye, non-emissary, and then Fexers should outfill out 2k. Yeah, definitely, mate. Maybe two non-emissaries. They're great. So yeah, the special weapons are a bit weird, but you'd probably just spam the flamers, and then maybe Spike Rifle, Shard Launcher, or Strangleweb. Yeah, Strangleweb is the one you want to take because that's the flamer. All the other ones are just a bit shit. It makes it fun for Overwatch. You've got Unit 20, you've got 4 flamers in there that can do dev wounds. It's quite funny. But, like, Termagant's also not great. Also not great. Strangleweb is the same profile as a GSC Weapon, probably. Assault, dev wounds, Torrent, strength 2, d6 shots, 1 damage. The nice thing about the Strangleweb, it allows the unit to advance and do actions because of the assault keyword on the weapons, which is nice. But that's about it. Can you spam one special weapon? No. 1 per 10 per weapon. So you can take 3 special weapons, but it's going to be like 1 Shard Launcher, 1 Spike Rifle, 1 Strangleweb, and then either all Devourers, all Spine Fists, or all Flesh Borers. Spine Fists are Assault Pistol Twin Linked, which is nice. But they're 12 inches, so yeah, you just take the Flamers, and then the other ones you could give them it. You could probably just miss if you really wanted to, because they're all a bit shit. The other thing that make Barb Gods really good is the special rule. Like, the blast weapons are mediocre, their Shard Launchers, or whatever they want to call them. They're just a bit rubbish, but then the Barb Gaunt has the ability to slow down a unit, which I imagine is still the same, if I can find it. The thing is with it, is we're getting rid of all like Battle Line HQ elites and stuff like that. It's really hard to find units because they're just wherever they fit now. Yeah, Barb Gaunts are 1 unit. You can subtract their move and advance and charge rolls, which is nice. Other than the Emissary, any other standout units? Not really, mate, because they're mostly the same as the old book or the index. They're basically most of the profiles are the same in the index. Like Gene still has got a slight change. It's not the end of the world. They don't get max reroll wounds anymore, but they get reroll hits all the time, which is cool. But like when you're looking at, I think what we're going to probably find now is when we're looking at at codexes, there's going to be a standout unit per detachment, because obviously 1 unit is going to rise above the rest because the detachments affect different things in different ways. Like obviously Invasion Fleet kind of affects everybody, but like with as I say, like running a Death Leaper, he's great, but he's better in Invasion Fleet, you know, or like Neurolictors are great, but they're really good in Vanguard Onslaught, sorry. So like Neurolictors and non-emissaries just on paper are just very good units. But they run better in different ways. So I think probably the Psychic one is better for the non-emissary, but the non-emissary is a very, very good unit. And again, like the Neurolictor, very, very good unit, better in Invader Onslaught or Vanguard Onslaught. I can't remember what they're called. The Vanguard detachment. With the change to Biovol, should we only run 1 or multiple in a unit? I think the Biovols, I think you're probably just better off running Rippers now, because the Biovores were basically only good for playing the mission, but they nerfed them really hard. Because what they did was they made it so you could only do it once per turn with your army, rather than once per model. Once per turn in your shooting phase, let's shoot one unit with this ability can use it instead of making attacks. If it does, you can add one new Spore Mines unit to your army set up anywhere in the battlefield that is wholly within 48 inches and more than 9 horizontally from enemy units. That Spore Mine unit contains one model for each model in this unit. So you can only spawn one Spore Mine a turn, and the only reason you were spawning Spore Mines was to play the mission. You know? It's only 45 points. It's not 45 points. It's not worth it. They're going to be 65 or more. So what you got to remember is these points were printed before the most recent balanced data slate, or the most recent adjustment. And they put Biovores to what, 65 was it? If you think they're going to stay 45, you are smoking crack. They're currently 65 points a model. They will likely be 65 points, or if not more, because of gained a wound. If you think they're going to be 45, you think, oh, Games Workshop made them drop 20 points? Listen, pass the pipe, because I want some. I still think anything with OC0 shouldn't be able to score secondaries. I also agree, mate. I think Ripper Swarms and Spore Mines is dumb for doing actions and playing the mission. But until Games Workshop fix it, enjoy it while it lasts. I see you play the mission well with Spore Mines. Yeah, but the fact is you can only bring one on a turn. Whereas, like, you could spend 45 points, the supposed cost of all the crack smokers of a Biovore, and just take 3 Ripper Swarms and deep strike them. The 40mm bases are slightly bigger, but they're still hard to screen. You heard it here first. Mikey smokes crack. I don't smoke crack. But if it was that good, maybe I'd consider it. Also, I mean, Battleshot units couldn't score secondaries, which I like. Yeah, I think that'd be really difficult to track if you like killing stuff, though. Like, kill secondaries, and then saying Battleshot units can't, or OC0 units can't score would be weird. But then a lot of the ones that are like holding points and like being somewhere or doing actions, a lot of the time it's non-battle shot units, so it kind of kills them out anyway. I like units of Spore Mines where super cheap so they could actually be used as deep strike chaff airstrikes. You can take Spore Mines. You can take some units of 3 to 6, I believe. And they're not that expensive, like 40 points, I think. 45 points for 3 or 6 models for 90 if you want to take Spore Mines. But what if you really want to do, also, is Mucilid Spores. Or Mucilid Spores are 40 points. They're a big Spore Mine. They can also deep strike. They can also do actions. So, enemies units cannot start or advance within 6. Each time an enemy unit ends a move, for each model in this unit that's within 3 inches, one or more enemy units, select one of those enemy units, roll a d6, on a 2 to 5 take d3, on a 6 to take d6 mortal wounds. Toughness 4, 3 wounds. You blow up near people, you deep strike, and you do actions. And they've got synapse, which is pretty fun. I'm confused, all the point shades are not accurate. No. No, it literally says in the back of the book, these are some points, use them if you want, but really use the ones online. So technically, when you buy the book, let's say there's no balanced data slate on Thursday, okay, which has points, because we've already been told that. There's no balanced data slate. You open the book, and it says use the Munitorum Field Manual. You know? It literally says it in there. So, really, technically, even with the book in hand, all of the units are at the wrong points in this book. Because it says, do not use the points, go to the Munitorum Field Manual. The only thing that you could say are probably the right points are the new stuff. because it has this blurb here. In addition to points value printed here, which you can always use in agreement with your opponent, I disagree. This codex is supported with live online point values so you can enjoy the most balanced and exciting games of Warhammer 40k. Scan this QR code to see the latest points value for your army. So as soon as you do that, you go to Warhammer Community website and you go, oh look, Biovars are 65 points. That's crazy. Damn, that's crazy. You know? So technically, even with the book in hand, really, I wrote a list. I wrote this list. I used the codex points. Really, I probably should use the field manual points, even before the book is out. I'm using the wrong points. You know, I should be here, and I should be using this. So let's do it. Let's find out how much this list is worth, or how much this list costs. Disagreeing with codex points over the next. I disagree with Facebook TOS. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. And this is why grey names are cringe. So just to remind you, if you want to become a member, so you lose bad opinions. So you can do so for as little as £1.99 a month. Because collectively, grey names are getting dragged right now because of these bad takes. It says you can use them in agreement with your opponent. I disagree. So you'll have to use the field manual, bruh. That one? Yes. Let's do the old points then. Okay. Right. Tyranids. F. Tyranids. Let's do it. So Death Leaper is actually 80 points. No Elictor doesn't have any points in here, so we'll use the current points of 60. Because that's the only reference we have. Parasite. Parasite. Where's P? 90. Lictors do have points, but the thing is they have different rules, which makes it weird. But they're actually more expensive. Von Ryans. Von Ryans. Where is it? TUV. There it is, 150. Nearly. Flyron. 195. This list is definitely over points now. Then again, Gene Stealers went up. Then again, Gene Stealers went up. Very interesting. Broodlord. 100. Rippers. You can't actually take them in ones. So technically, you'd have to you count that as like maybe a new unit because you can't take Rippers in ones. I think really doesn't have any points. How many points is this? So 15, 20, 30. These are the more legitimate points you'd use, and that's 2045. Technically, oh, where did the feather fall off? Sad. Technically, yeah, the list is overpointed. So those points are more for kitchen table 40k when you don't want to look stuff up. Kind of how the Star Wars Legion is. All card points are there, but for like super casual play. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. What if your opponent disagrees to units of 1 Rippers? Well, it's a unit in your book, right? You can't deny a unit in the book, but you can deny the points of a unit. But technically, Ripper Swarm has got a new way to take models. So maybe you play 15 Rippers, or maybe you don't. But like until the field manual comes out, technically they're the points they're probably closer to the points you should use. If you're running a tournament this weekend, right, and you're playing with a new book, you'd use the right hand column. You know? In the future, I'd expect points to be updated to reflect the codex on release date. Yeah, more than likely, Watkin. New points will drop before the physical book. Yeah, exactly. But all I'm saying is if you had no FAQ, you go to a tournament Saturday and you're allowed to use a new codex, that's probably closer to what you should be using compared to on the left. Because they literally say in the book, these are just for reference, use the Unitarian Field Manual, and that's what the Unitarian Field Manual says. And since a lot of the index cards have stayed the same, it's probably close. I was just asking. No, sorry. It was just a bit like... I think it was the other guy who was just like disagreeing with points or be disagreeing with Facebook TOS, which is not really the same. The book literally says use the field manual. So it's not really like that big of a deal, you know? Printing points is kind of odd considering the lag time between print file and production. There's no way they'll be accurate. No, I agree. I think printing points is just, it's kind of like they're doing it for the sake of it, you know? They're doing it just because they've always done it. So someone can go in, buy the book, open it, and play a game. But really, they don't need to. They could just have a page with a big QR code that says the points are in the field manual, you know? So it's so similar, it makes me sad for the future of Votan, Admech, and Death Guard. Don't forget this is only the first one as well, and I think the print time difference will be the big factor of them how they adjust models in the future. Because like they can't really change all the Tyranid data sheets on the index because it's too, like, why would they, you know? Are you expecting Games Workshop to bring out all of these new indexes and then change all the rules straight away for the first codex? It doesn't really make sense. Now in like 6 to 8 months time, where like codexes aren't in print now, or aren't in print when the rules came out and we realized they're all dog shit, and then 6 to 8 months time they might go, oh yeah, we'll update all these data sheets because they're all really rubbish, you know? They're kind of, oh yeah, actually on second reflection all of these rules are really bad, so we'll add cool ones and make it better. And that's where you're likely going to see data card and data sheet changes. But when 10th edition was announced, they did say we're going to bring out the index cards. Most of the data sheets are going to stay the same in the codex. The plan isn't to change the data sheets. The plan is to change the detachments and add detachments to change the way the army functions rather than doing a complete faction overhaul. Which is why I said you don't really need to buy the codex if you already have the index cards because you've got most of it anyway. There's a couple of changes, a couple of little, you know, little, as someone said, I think it was Anime Man, little post-it note, little bit of Tipex, you know, because a lot of the data cards were wrong anyway. So what's a bit more Tipex between friends? So yeah, you could just go, well, you know, what was I saying? I'll just play the old data cards. But yeah, like 6 to 8 months in the future, where bad factions get a codex and they go, here it is, they've had a lot more time to think about it and put it into print. So I can see a lot of White Dwarf detachments coming. Probably. They're doing it for filthy casuals, quite literally. Mikey's are getting triggered as usual, poking more. Piss off. Codexes are cool and all, but I really wish they'd go fully digital for digital rules armies. Yeah, I think if they're gonna pull the data cards off the website, I think that's pretty cringe, to be honest. I think that's probably the bad idea. I liked the fact that everything was free. I think they should keep the data sheets free, you know, and then charge, if you want to charge for anything, charge for like the special rules of the detachments. Like, keep the indexes, like the data cards, physically free because they're all out there anyway. That's what they do for AOS. All the rules for the units are free, so you can see what they do on the table. The only saving grace, it's kind of dumb, because they're selling these data cards as well. The saving grace and the nice thing about it is when I'm looking at a list and I go, you know what, I really like Invasion Fleet. They're the only two pages I need, and it's a spread, which is nice. That's the benefit of how they're doing it. You know, you pay £35 for your codex to have 2 pages while you're playing, which is pretty cringe. It is pretty cringe. You know, Games Workshop sent me this book for free. You know, so for me it's fine. But if everyone else is going to go out and buy it, that is shit. Okay. But like the whole idea, they're like, have this open on your table, and then buy the £12, £15, £20 data cards or whatever cost they are, and they're what you need for your units. And it's like, if you're gonna charge £35 for a book that I'm using 2 pages out of, maybe you could put the data cards in there for free. You know, strap it to the front. You know, that's what I don't like. You know. It feels like they like own goal themselves all the time. It is like, yeah, the codex is going up another £5, but you get data cards with them. All right. I mean, they're up a £5. It's cheaper to go and get them printed myself. £17.50 a page. That's a steal. I mean, technically, it's like there's 6 detachments, so £35 divided by 12. That's how much each page costs. But like the data card, their intention, they want you to go out and buy the book and the data cards. So you have the data cards in front of you for your army, for whatever you're using, and then you got the codex open on 1 page. You know? The cost of 1 codex is less than the cost of a digital subscription over multiple years, though. And what are you referring to? You meant about the subscription service? I think if they did like online, if they're gonna do like Warhammer Plus and charge for Battleforge, I think they should just charge £5 and give everyone the rules. I can pay £5 and subscribe to Hellstormwargaming and be a member and be a legend. I can pay like £8 and get Netflix. I can pay like £8 and get Crunchyroll, and I'd probably get more value out of that, to be honest. Well, there's so many online resources to get hold of all the rules. Buying codex is just convenience these days, you know? And codexes last 3 years, yeah, like max. If they're doing a new edition every time. £5 a month for a living rulebook and a list builder. SaaS subscription. I don't know what that means. Will be money printed. Yeah, like £5-6 for every rule on a phone with a list builder. Like, annoyingly, I probably would pay that. But they've added a code in the back of the codex, you know? They want you to buy the codex and unlock the rules in the app. So it's a bit annoying. I love getting the codex back in the day. I think just like, I think codexes are just a dated thing, you know? I think they're just kind of dragging it out as long as possible because they just make loads of money. Now, I saw some nice stuff in the book. The book's not like... I think the problem is if there was just like a Tyranid encyclopedia, it's great. But like, well, for a gamer, for a big gamer, I think these are closer to the Age of Sigmar versions of this sort of format. Like, the showcase is obviously nice, you know? And it does have some painting guides in here, very basic. It does have all the combat patrol rules as well, which is nice. I'm giving it some credit, you know. It's not all doom and gloom. I'm pretty sure it has a painting guide. Let me see if I can find it. Crusade. Nope. Don't think there's anything at the back of Crusade. Nope. A bunch of lore. Or does it not have a painting guide? I'm sure I saw a painting guide in here. I'm like 95% sure I did. Is it the back of the showcase? Did I miss it? Oh my god, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I imagined it all. Guys, did I imagine this? It does have one. I found it! Painting your combat. It's in the combat patrol section. So it does have this, like Age of Sigmar. Which is a nice little touch. You know? Is it worth £35? Probably not. I think they should just do like... I hate reading rules on a phone. But like, sometimes. Just sell the data cards now. You've like made the data cards really good. Everyone really likes those. Just sell the data cards and then make this an encyclopedia, you know? Top 3 things to look out for a NIDS player coming back after years out asking for a friend. I wrote you the most broken list I could think of if you want to rewind about an hour. Or there'll be a vid about it tomorrow. I still like having the books for artwork and lore, but it's weird how the focus is about the rules. When the rules inside are a little redundant, it's nice to have, but it isn't essential like GW claim. Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. They used to be essential. Now they're just not. And I think that's okay. I think as technology is evolving, as other games are evolving, I think it's okay to go, you know what, this system's a bit dated now, and we can probably give it a miss. I like having the codex. It's nice. But when I'm playing, I just need those 2 pages. I could print those out, you know. I can type them up off my phone that has a subscription and print them out. And then have all my data cards in front of me. If a rule subscription was £5 per month, then over 3 years the same cost as 5 to 6 codexes. Yeah, exactly. I think a lot of people would enjoy the subscription. It'd be a great little bonus for Warhammer Plus, and it'd also give all the people like me who don't really care about the animations another reason to subscribe. I love having the detachments as a card in the index. So much easier than carrying around a book. Yeah, for sure, mate. For sure. Like, the index cards were great. Like, people love them. I kept trying to remind people that the index cards are good, but that's not a 10th edition thing. It's just a thing that Games Workshop could have done at any time. But a lot of people look at 10th edition and go, I really like the index, like, the way they did it. The product as a whole. And they weren't too badly priced, you know. And I think, how much are the new ones? Let's have a look. They weren't too badly priced and they had everything for you, which was cool. Where am I? Why am I in Sweden? There we go. Pre-order. 20 quid for the data sheet cards. Data sheet cards. Because not index cards anymore, I guess. Data sheet cards. That's weird. Index cards. How much are they? They're like almost doubled in price. Or 25% extra. Or 33% extra. How much are the turreted ones? I bet you can't buy them now, can you? I bet the turreted ones are like £4. What's the chance that this codex is 100% playable and valid after the new toe balance or FAQs? What I define playable? Everything's technically playable. Do we get the detachment stratagems with the datasheet cards? No. No, boy. I'm afraid not. The datasheet cards have data sheets. And I believe that is it. 53 handy reference cards make your rules easy to access, help you focus on the game, and look good doing it with purple foil glint edges. I'm in. Alright, maybe I'm in. The purple glint that I'm in. One army rules card. 47 datasheet cards. 5 combat patrol datasheet cards. So one army rules card is Synapse and Shadow in the Warp. Right? Which you already have if you play the index. Yeah, army rules is Synapse and Shadow in the Warp. Lol. So no detachment cards. Again, the whole point is have your book open, also buy these cards. So they really... That's quite funny because like the codexes used to be 25 quid. And now they want you to spend 55 quid. Ah, damn, I don't like bitch. I'm fed up of bitching now, but like, come on now. That's bullshit. Not a fan. Yeah, they're a business. They're there to make money, but... It's a good codex, and I like the rules that are in it. But then I just get annoyed because I'm like, oh, well, the codex is more expensive, and really you want to buy the data card. They want you to buy the data cards as well. Okay. Okay. I see how it is. Bottom of the last page, you showed us said you'll need the codex full use this card. Yeah, exactly, because you don't get the detachment rules in there. Yeah, that's a shame, chap. To be honest, I'm not a fan. Anyway, we've only got 20 minutes. There's a big drama I wanted to cover, but I might leave it to Wednesday now. You don't need the data cards to play the book. No, but I'm saying the intention there is to buy the data cards as well. Their intention is, which is fine, it works well. It will be nice to play with. Don't get me wrong. It's not exactly a waste of money. It's just a lot of money. I'm playing Synaptic Nexus. I'm going to have this page open. I'm not going to turn this page because all my index cards are out. All the data sheet cards are all out in front of me. Hitting the drama, another company being trash. Let me look how long the video is. The video is 40 minutes long. I don't think we've got time to do it today. Bear in mind, I stopped streaming in 20 minutes. So it'll be a video anyway, Marv, so you won't miss it all, but I'll be talking about it live on Wednesday now, I think. That'll be Wednesday's show before painting an emissary. But yeah, basically review the Tuning Codex. I like the format, I like the ideas, the detachments seem really fun. I think the rules on the paper are great. I think the new models are really cool. I love the Neurolictor, I love the non-emissary. I'm excited to see what they do with the points. But I think probably a bit too expensive now, these days. No extra time for drama. No extra time for drama. Basically, I'm really thirsty and it's really warm, and I'm probably gonna stick to that 20 minute timer. Anyway, let's do. Shall we do a wish list? Wait, what's in my Games Workshop cart? I was buying something recently. Oh, it was working out how much my Grey Knight army was worth. That'll do it. Okay. So, Games Workshop, the boys, the legends, sometimes when they want to be, have announced there is a New Balance data slate coming on Thursday. A New Balance data slate for Warhammer 40,000 lands this Thursday. It will include updated rules and points for your games and will be available here at Warhammer Community and on the Warhammer 40,000 app. Now, this Balance data slate is all or nothing, I think. This is the last time that Games Workshop can go, you know what, we did a big doozy. We're going to fix it, everyone. We're going to make it better. But how and what do they need to make better? Here's some ideas. We got the notepad out. It's an important one. Now, Games Workshop, I've told you multiple times that it's £500 an hour, but I'll do you a special deal of £420 an hour. But I do keep telling you all of my ideas as well, so I'm sure they're going to be stolen. I've been saying from day one that Devastating Wounds needs to get in a bin and be set on fire. That's what I've been saying from the start, okay? Change it. No mortal wounds. And just to clarify, I've been saying this from the start, okay? So if the Games Workshop take my idea, then I'll be sending them a bill. No mortal wounds. Just ignore saves. And I always say this. I've been saying this a lot. The fact that mortal wounds are so prevalent in shooting is ridiculous. And like, the Wraith Knight is so dumb. Now, narratively, a Wraith Knight warp cannon shoots warp. It shoots space at people. That will tear up little small fractures of reality right there. Little black holes here, there, and everywhere. And likely in the lore, if you a Wraith Knight shot a Wraith Cannon at a unit of Space Marines, it will probably kill them. All 5. Or all 10, or whatever. But this is a game based on story, not story based on game. Okay? What we've got to remember with the game is we have to kind of take some believability out of it. Even though it's all sci-fi and space. It's all sci-fi, it's all made up, and we're all in space with toy soldiers. We've got to take some believability in what would happen in the stories out of the game and consider like what the good game mechanics are. And like having an anti-tank weapon wipe units at a time is pretty dumb, in my opinion. An anti-tank weapon should be really good at killing tanks, and you should take anti-infantry weapons to deal with infantry, not have one good at doing both. And then obviously Strand's Dice was another fucking thing. Death Wounds could be +1 damage. Death Wounds +1 damage would be pretty poor. I just think Death Wounds just ignore saves. If you shoot an anti-tank weapon, anti-tank, cool. I think you should ignore invulnerable saves as well. You know, if I shoot a warp, a bit of the warp at another Wraith Knight, it'll probably do a bunch of damage. But if I shoot at a unit of Guardians, I probably shouldn't kill them all. You know, Towering is dumb and needs to get in a bin. Now, it doesn't need to get a bin and set on fire. It does just need to be in the bin. Because, like, people don't have terrain that is good enough or high enough that looks nice to deal with Towering. So, Towering being able to ignore obscuring is really stupid. So, I think it's just not ignore anything. Not ignore anything. Get rid. Delete. I think delete the keyword. Delete keyword. I think 8th edition and 9th edition of people, or 9th edition of people being able to see knights through windows feels bad. But knights and flyers have always been really weird ones, or Towering or Titanic and flyers have always been really weird ones to like work out how to make them fit, because they're slightly too big and too killy to be in a game of Warhammer. But they're also really cool. They're also proper mint. So, like, getting rid of them completely would be really shit. But if you just deleted Towering as a mechanic and just went, you're the same as everyone else, then the knights can hide, but people can hide from the knights as well. And people don't have to, like, redo all of their terrain and have, like, cardboard windows like we had last week, you know? Remember last week, trying to deal with Wraith Knights? And all it was is people fucking building cardboard pieces of terrain like this. Like, it's functionally great, but realistically, it's dog poo. Okay, it's got the packing logo on. It's got the size of the box on there. And this is the other way you can deal with towering. So if you're going to have it skewering as a rule, don't have something that ignores it, you know? Don't make a cool rule and then ignore it straight away. Votan playable. Votan do need to playable. I don't really know how to fix Votan. I just think a lot of their data sheets kind of suck. Fix Imperial Guard. How would you fix them? Talk to me. Buy Evolve for 5 points. Get to fuck. Make Eldari models cheaper so we can just buy all of them and play them balanced. I think auto shouldn't be critical hits. What do you mean auto shouldn't be critical hits? In what regard? What context? Oh, anti shouldn't be auto crit hits. Yeah, like anti-interaction is really dumb. Anti-interaction with dev wounds is kinda dumb. So I think and again, something else I've already said. A lot of this is kind of like going over what I've already said as well. Like anti should just be, can't type, should be. So like if I've got anti 3+ against toughness 10 and I'm trying 2, then I should always wound on that. Should be always wound on the number required. However, dev wounds should only be on the 6. So you still roll to wound. Let's say I got anti 3+ on a strength 1 weapon. So everything's going to be at least 6s. You know? So anti basically makes my 3 always wound no matter, regardless of the toughness. That's the best way to put it. Should always wound on the number regardless of toughness. Change to wound on the number regardless of toughness. That's a better way to put it, I think. So then you kind of like poison at that point. Like anti becomes poison, and poison, for those who have not been played long enough to know from last edition, which was 2 months ago, then basically when you roll to wound, you always wound on that number required, like anti 3+ or whatever. But you still have to roll, but then it doesn't count as a 6. Because the reason they made it count as a 6 is probably because of the interaction of Devastating Wounds, which is probably wrong in my opinion. But also taking anti and just making it like poison. You roll, and then it doesn't automatically interact with Devastating Wounds. It's a weirder way to write it rather than saying anti counts as 6s. But what you can do is roll, and then only your 6s get dev wounds. You know, you still have anti 4+, like combi bolters. You wound everything on a 4+, but 4s and 5s wound, and then 6s do dev. You know? Fate Miracle Dice should not be counted as modified dice. I think if you get rid of Devastating Wounds in some way, then Fate Dice are a lot less, like, I'll try to think of a clever word, a lot less bullshit. Because it's then, yeah, it counts as a 6. Alright, cool, it ignores saves. Probably fine. I would change that the towering model next to be the footprint of the room can see past it. Must be next to the footprint. So, like, it can see through, like, one layer of terrain. Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout. See through one layer of terrain. It's next to. Because I get around the footprint problem, because obviously like towering models pretty much can't get wholly within a footprint of a terrain piece. So they'd struggle to be able to shoot through a lot of terrain. But they're also really fast, so they can probably run around it anyway. Next White Dwarf be showing you how to make night blocking terrain out of the packaging for nights. Probably. Probably, yeah, mate. Unpopular opinion, Rave Knights need to come back down in points. Shut up, John. Oh, what a boy. John's a legend, but he does try to trigger people so easily. If you had an alt account, John, I would have got angry, but I know it's you. I think Imperial Guards either get more killer or all the units should be cheaper. They currently don't do enough. They play missions really well, and they have artillery car parks. That's the problem. You see, regard results from WTC. I think with top factions getting nerfed, they'll be fine. It's just unfortunate that their rule set is kind of boring. Yeah, they just kind of rely on artillery. It's a bit rubbish. And spamming sentinels with the strat. Towering could be see-through terrain they're touching rather than needing to be wholly within. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Off topic, well, your desktop wallpaper is sick. Thank you. It's wallpaper engine. It is Neon Genesis. It's a custom version of like a Japanese artwork, I think. I can't remember what it's called. It's on Wallpaper Engine anyway. I have that, and then I have my Neon Genesis artwork on the wall as well. Which is, I'll just take a picture, I can't be able to get it. With lights shining on it, because it's cool and epic. It's a shittest picture, but there you go. Enjoy Mercenary, just for you. As you can see. I got the light shining up on it, so it looks very holy when I'm streaming. Credit building unit 0, nice, nice. I really want to go to Japan. Me and Georgie talk about going to Japan next year. So become a member so I can go to Japan, guys. But I just want to go and get loads of fucking Ava kits. You see the new Godzilla trailer? I've seen bits of it, yeah. Indirect. Indirect does need a nerf. How do you nerf indirect? Indirect, probably too strong. However, Desos are fine. Desolation breeds are okay. I fucking love Godzilla. I really want to do a Godzilla rewatch. And by that I mean watch every single Godzilla movie. But... oh, mate, Stefan, I really want to play Armored Core, but I'm playing Subnautica again, and then I really want to play Starfield, and I want to play Armored Core. I'm really fucked right now. Change benefit of cover on indirect +1 save. That'd be a great thing, because that was what 9th edition was, wasn't it? +1 save if you can't see, not cover. It does mean you could stack, but they also nerfed cover with like armor saves and stuff with like 3+. Subnautica is so great, mate. It's the second time playing it. I played it this time last year as well. It's quite funny because I played Subnautica below 0, and then I played Subnautica last year. But then we went on holiday to Greece, and I was just in the sea with a scuba mask on, shouting at Georgie, being like, "Oh my god, it's just like Subnautica." She found it so annoying. She was so pissed off all holiday. I'm just like scuba diving. Not scuba diving, I just had like a scuba mask on a snorkel. I don't know why I'm calling it scuba mask. I had a snorkel. And I'm just like, babe, John, there's a plant. It's just like Subnautica. And then I'd be underneath like, I'm looking for titanium. It was so cringe, but it's funny. Such a great game, but like it's pretty gross. Look at this. So so I rebought Below Zero. Not this weekend, just gone. The weekend before the tournament. So not last weekend. Not Goonhammer, not the weekend before, the weekend before that. I rebought it and put 25 hours in. And then I rebought Subnautica as soon as I finished it, and I've already put 18 hours in. And then I'm like, man, I've got no time to do anything. Great game. Great fucking game. So fun. But then I'm like, Starfield's going to be like Subnautica, but in space. Rather than on one planet. He's on loads of planets. And no, actually, it'll be Minotaur Ballistic Skill instead of Minotaur Twit. Yeah, it should have just been 9th edition, right? And -1 and -1 BS. That would make it fine. That would make it fine. Or, hear me out. No benefits. No benefits. Benefits to hit roll. So you can't get like heavy benefits. You can't give yourself +1 to hit. I think, like, yeah, my list was abusing it quite a lot, but I think like being able to give yourself your indirect +1 to hit or ignore the -1 is really silly. Fantastic games, both of them. Yeah, they are. I'm glad I went. I'm glad I like having two conversations. But like I liked Below Zero's. I think I like Below Zero's gameplay loop a bit more because it's a bit more compact. But then Subnautica is just really fun to go and explore and do shit. I'm glad I played Below Zero first because I think if I'd just played Subnautica, I wouldn't have got the gameplay loop as quick, which would have been a bit hard. I probably would have watched a lot more guides because it's more about like kind of like Dark Souls into learning the lore, but the gameplay and the what to do in the game is more in like the data pad rather than like in your face. Whereas Below Zero is in your face and it's a lot more handholdy, but it's a lot smaller. But I think probably Below Zero is a better first game, and then Subnautica, the first one, is probably better once you kind of got it when you want to understand. Wrong button. Wrong button. No rerolls. You could turn off rerolls. That would be one way to do it. I think getting +1 save and then cover is probably be fine. I think Desolation Breeze, the fact they just ignore the bad bits about being indirect is pretty dumb. Are you admitting to using guides in Subnautica? I do use an interactive map. So sure. No, what I was saying was I think it's just like a barrier to entry is a lot lower in Below Zero. Because it's like very much in your face. It's like if you don't do something for a long time, the fucking robot, what's it called? The architect in your head tells you what to do. So yeah. I think that the gameplay loop is a lot easier in Below Zero. But it's a lot smaller, so you can get around a lot quicker. Turn off reroll would be too much. Yeah, I think turn off reroll would be probably too much. I mean, like, these are like some of like the main issues of the game. There's obviously all the fucking profiles of like indexes and points being wrong all the time. I think like these are the main 4 problems that people have: indirect, anti-towering, and devastating wounds. I don't know if there's like Thousand Suns are super strong. G-Sir Cult are super strong, but I think core game wise, I think these are the main issues. I don't think there's much else core game wise that's a problem. Unless I'm missing something. Is anyone else thinking? He hasn't said hit rule. Josh should be fucking going wild. It's a rule, not a roll. I'm trying to think. What some of the main issues. 3 stratagems, maybe. Maybe GW should write competent rules writers instead of relying on their little indie developers. They should hire me. Melee need fixed. Yeah. Melee's just kind of shit. I think free strats are pretty bad. All the free strat stuff should be once per game. I think it'd like really hamper all of the people or units with being able to use distraction for free. I think it just needs to be more limiting. Do we feel this out previously? Rules writers are math geeks. Yeah, that rumor of what one Reddit comment said, saying that they couldn't get the rules writing job because they didn't have a maths degree, and he was like, aren't I writing rules?" Once per game, per unit. That's not so bad. But then all you do, if you do that, then people just go, okay, I'll take the ones that give me an extra command point every turn. Would Battleshock be too powerful if it sticks until you succeed a Battleshock test? It does? I suppose if you force someone else to be Battleshocked and they're like over half strength. Because you take a Battleshock every turn if you're below half strength. But I suppose if you force someone to take a Battleshock, it auto passes later. Once per game per unit isn't a bad shout. I get you, Stefan. That would make Vanguard Onslaught detachment really fucking good. Imagine you force your opponent to take a battle shock on every unit in their army, and then all the ones that pass, you make them take more, and they only get rid of it once they actually pass a new battle shock. That would be pretty funny. That would be really cool, actually. I mean, by cool, I'd be really broken. That would be very, very good. Well, fortification didn't clear it on a little bit. I think fortifications suffer with the same problem as flyers and knights. It's just like, yeah, they're in the law. Yeah, they probably should have some, but also they don't really work. So I'm not really... Are people crying out for certain fortifications? Because I think they're all really shit. They were all really broken or just really crap. I remember the G's, the other cult one that they don't even sell anymore, which is the big drill. It was so dumb. But then you got like the Nurgle tree, which is so broken. Like everything can advance and charge. Like Nurgle turn one charging for some reason. What was it? G's, the other cult drill. Drill terrain. Tectonic frag drill. Do they still have them? No. This thing. Remember when they sold this? Oh, not clicking on spiky bits. No free promo. Remember when they had this? And they sold it for like 3 months. Then it went off the shelf again. Massive Drill is so good. Massive Drill was pretty funny. But like, it was literally on sale for about 3 months and then it went off sale again. Fortification work best in some kind of narrative or scenario type game. Oh yeah, yeah. They're like they look quite, having like themed faction terrain was fun. I think AOS like kind of like when... Oh, yeah, his faction training, they did it really well. But they were all really broken, and they were all free, so they were auto-take. That's kind of like their upsell thing. It's like buy a codex or buy a battle tome, buy cards that give you tokens for your army as well, and buy a terrain piece, and now you can play the army. But I think like they're fun, they look cool, but I think like gameplay piece are pretty rubbish. Have some rules for it in a narrative game, but I just think like most games probably don't bother. Like this is cool. This Ray, who designs all the terrain for 40k, is just fucking, is just genius. He's like, yeah, fucking do this, lads. Also, yeah, I also use a lot of normal terrain. Yeah, for sure. Give that drill a data sheet. Max, you're pissing me off. What are you doing to me? It had one for a whole edition, and they only sold it for like 2 weeks. Transporting the OBR terrain is annoying. It's fucking, yeah, it's huge, isn't it? It's fucking huge. I've got the OBR terrain as well. Right, imagine having that in 40k. Get to fuck. Anyway, yeah, I think they're the main issues. Battle Shock, I'll just put like Battle Shock being more detrimental. Because I think when you used to fail morale and lose models was fine. And then they went, we want to make Battle Shock or like failing a leadership test more interesting. So we're going to make you Battle Shock. And then everyone just goes, okay, my unit functions basically the same. I can't use a CP reroll on it anymore. That's about it. I'd be nice to see something a little bit more detrimental, as you say, like lasting until you pass one would be good, just as a generic rule. And then like half strength units have to take one every turn. Anyway. So, but anyway, that's been the Tyranid Codex review and chat about the balanced data slate. The first part of the stream will be a video probably tomorrow. So if you miss any of it, then we can talk about the Vanguard Onslaught detachment list that I wrote. I do think it's got some legs to it. I don't know if it's going to be that's the final list, but I do think that list has some sort of something's there, you know, something's there that you could definitely play around with. But I'll be live again Wednesday morning, painting the Norn Emissary. For our live game on Friday, we're going to have Tyranids versus Grey Knights, my new Grey Knights army, versus High Fleet Dog Poo with the new bug. I don't know what detachment I'm going to run because I don't have all the lictors painted. So, we'll see. We'll see. But thank you so much for hanging out. I do really appreciate it. I hope you all had a good time. Thank you for all the support. Thanks to everyone who's donated and gifted memberships. Obviously, it's super, super kind. It's super, super helpful. It really helps me out. And I hope you enjoyed it. You know, the one thing I do, I really enjoy what I do, sorry. But the one thing I don't want to do is make you feel like you wasted your time. So hopefully you enjoyed your time with me tonight, because I did as well. So thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And hopefully I'll catch you on Wednesday. At like 10, but if not, I'll be live Thursday as well with the balanced data slate. I'm probably going to start streaming like mid-afternoon, and we'll just like wait until it comes out, because I imagine it's probably going to come out like probably like usually it comes out like 4, and then sometimes it comes out early, sometimes it comes out super late. So I'm just going to stream all afternoon on Thursday and just chill and wait for it. And then I'm live Friday with the battle report as well. So that's the plan. So thanks so much. I really appreciate you all. If you've just got here, Jay Taylor, feel free to rewind. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Just rewind to about an hour and a half ago, and you'll get the full deep dive on the Tyranid Codex. So thanks for watching. I love you all, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. Okay? Okay. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Where's the end stream button? Goodbye. Bye.